Hello everyone, Razorblade Mango here, and today I am going to do something a little bit fun for the channel. I would like to give out some predictions that I have in mind for things that are going to happen in 2024, and a year later we'll come back in 2025, take a look at the 10 predictions that I'm going to throw out today, and we'll see what I got right, what I got wrong, and then we'll just rinse and repeat and do the same thing in 2025, and so on and so forth. So like I said, I have 10 predictions. I made it to where I have 2 predictions for each of the 3 big console manufacturers. So I have 2 predictions for PlayStation, 2 predictions for Xbox, and 2 predictions for Nintendo, and then 4 more just general predictions for the year. So my first prediction is that I think PlayStation will make a strategic investment in mega successful Chinese developer / publisher MiHoYo. I think this because PlayStation already has a pretty chummy relationship with MiHoYo. They have console exclusivity when it comes to Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. When I actually checked to see if Genshin Impact was on Xbox, and I couldn't believe it that it wasn't yet. So it's very obvious that they're kind of giving them some money under the table to be like, hey, keep this shit on PlayStation for the time being, guys. So pretty please, thank you. And I assume the same is going to go for MiHoYo's upcoming action RPG, Zenless Zone Zero, which whenever that comes out is probably going to be huge. Not as huge as Genshin Impact, obviously, but huge. And it's obvious right now that PlayStation's live service initiative is in pretty deep shit right now. And they need to make more investments in companies that are actually knowledgeable and successful when it comes to live services. If they want to keep doing this, which, like I said last week, I really hope they pivot away from it. But my gut is telling me that they're not going to, that they're actually going to try again. So I think the company that makes the most sense in my mind for them to invest in is MiHoYo. It's not fucking Bungie, it's MiHoYo. And my reasoning for that is that MiHoYo not only has a massive success in Genshin Impact, they also have more irons in the fire in case for any reason Genshin Impact decides to go tits up. They have Honkai Star Rail in there. They'll have Zenless Zone Zero. They'll probably have a 4th one in a few years because that just seems to be what MiHoYo does. If Sony is going to make any strategic investment in any live service company, I really do think it's going to be MiHoYo. I'm not sure what the politics are when it comes to investing in a company in China, but if PlayStation could do it, I bet they will. The second prediction is related to the hypothetical PlayStation showcase for this year. I think the showcase will happen. I think it will happen in the first half of 2024. And I think this is when they are finally going to announce the latest projects from 3 first-party studios. We're going to find out what Team Asobi is doing. We're going to find out what Bluepoint Games is up to. And we're finally going to learn what the hell Firesprite is doing and why PlayStation bought them. And I think we will also get announcements of some rumored upcoming projects from developer Sumo Digital and a new team that Sony is rumored to be working with on a survival horror game called Ballistic Moon. I think if we're lucky, like one of these first-party teams will be there, considering how fucked Sony's pipeline seems to be. There you go. That's my prediction. Team Asobi, Bluepoint, Firesprite, Sumo Digital, Ballistic Moon at the PlayStation Showcase in the first half of this year. All right, moving on to my 2 predictions for Xbox. So the first one is that I think Xbox will acquire 2 studios this year. One of them is going to be Crystal Dynamics, who are the team behind the Tomb Raider franchise, and Asobo Studio, who are the team behind the A Plague Tale games and Microsoft Flight Simulator. So my reasoning for this happening is I think with Crystal Dynamics being under Embracer Group, and Embracer Group clearly collapsing. If Xbox is going to save any team from the dissolving clutches of Embracer, Crystal Dynamics is the one that makes the most sense to me, because Crystal Dynamics is currently basically have taken over Perfect Dark at this point from the initiative. I really don't see any other team going to Xbox under Embracer than Crystal Dynamics. And then we got Asobo Studio, which that one is obvious because it's a good studio, damn good studio. And I think Microsoft wants to kind of tie the knot with their involvement with Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think they'll allow them obviously to go off and do their own thing, but I think Asobo is a very talented studio, and I think Xbox would be wise to pick them up. So that's my predictions for that. Number 3, Microsoft will acquire Crystal Dynamics and Asobo Studio. Number 4, I think Hellblade 2 will be released to glowing reviews, and by glowing reviews, I mean, and I don't normally pay any attention, I don't normally take a lot of stock in Metacritic or OpenCritic, but I think just for the sake of the predictions, 90 plus Metacritic score, 90 plus on OpenCritic, and it will be seen as an easy Game of the Year contender. I think this is going to be Xbox's best game in a very, very long time. I'm a little concerned by some of the things I've seen of it. I think this game will show better if they do an extended demo of it that's actually real and somebody playing it, because I didn't believe that Game Awards demo they did a few years ago. I thought that was just, to me, it looked fake. Hopefully we'll see Hellblade 2, an actual extended gameplay segment of Hellblade 2 at the rumored Xbox Developer Direct that's supposed to be happening later this month. That's what I think. I think Hellblade 2 is going to be a big critical success for Xbox and Ninja Theory, and I couldn't be happier if that were to happen. I would really love Hellblade 2. So moving on to my 2 predictions for Nintendo. I don't have a lot to really elaborate with these 2 because they're more they revolve around the Switch successor. So Nintendo will reveal the next major 3D Mario game this year, and it will launch with their next console. I know we just got Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I know we had Bowser's Fury not that long ago, but I think if they're going to release any game with the next Nintendo console, it's going to be Mario. I think that is going to be the killer app for the Switch successor, because it's too early for Zelda. I don't think they're going to do anything with Donkey Kong or Yoshi, or it's too early for Smash. Mario. I think it's going to be Mario. And that ties in with number 6. The Switch successor, while I think it will be revealed later this year, I don't think it will launch this year, but early 2025. Because this is Nintendo. Nintendo does weirdo shit. So I'm going to assume that Nintendo will be Nintendo and not release the Switch successor during the obvious holiday season window. I think that is just, to me, that strikes me as a very Nintendo thing. That they just completely defy expectations and do something where, because it's Nintendo. Nintendo have basically earned the ability to carve out their own little weird releases they do, because I didn't think they would release the Switch in March, and they went, oh fuck it, announce it, do the reveal in January or whatever, and then release it in March. That doesn't happen with big consoles, but that's Nintendo for you. So that's why I feel pretty confident that it will not launch this year, but early 2025 instead, maybe February or March 2025. All right, moving on to some of the general predictions. So number 7, I think at least one of the big Japanese publishers will be acquired. And by big Japanese publishers, I am going to state specifically 5. Square Enix, Capcom, Sega, Bandai Namco, Koei Tecmo. I think by the end of 2024, one or more of those 5 companies will be acquired by one of the mega publishers or massive corporations out there. And I don't know which one. If I had to go with my gut, and it kills me to say this, because I don't, for the record, I don't want anybody to buy anybody anymore. I'm tired of this acquisition shit. I don't like where this is going, and I hate that Xbox getting Activision has basically, I basically see it as the green light for everybody to go out and start acquiring fucking publishers and shit. My gut is telling me that Microsoft will make a serious play for either Sega or Square Enix. And I know, especially Sega has said that they're not interested in being acquired. That may be true, but when you're being offered an enormous check by Microsoft to be on their team, there is a point where a certain number of zeros will make them say yes. That's how this works. Number 8. I think this will be the year that Capcom will finally reveal the 7th mainline entry in the Ace Attorney franchise. This is obviously what Capcom is building up to, because we had the original trilogy remastered a few years ago, and it was great. And then we had the great Ace Attorney games release in a really awesome duology bundle remastered that came out, I think it was either last year or the year before that. And then we have, of course, in a few weeks, we have the Apollo Justice trilogy, which I assume will be very good. I assume, at least, I've never played 3 Apollo Justice games before, but I assume the quality of the remasters themselves will be excellent, because that seems to be like the trajectory for Capcom remasters in the Ace Attorney franchise. And I know all of this is going to be leading up to the 7th mainline entry in the franchise. And I think with the release of the Apollo Justice games, this is where it will finally happen. I think at one of these Capcom events this year, Shu Takumi is going to come out and say, hey guys, 7th Ace Attorney game. Here you go. Coming out 2025. Fuck it. Let's do that. Capcom will reveal the 7th mainline entry in the Ace Attorney franchise, and it's going to come out in either 2025 or 2026. I think maybe 2026 is more realistic, but I would love for it to come out in 2025, because I am a new fan of this series, so I am very, very much looking forward to getting my hands on anything. I know the Apollo Justice thing is not new, but it's new to me. And then, of course, the 7th mainline entry, I can finally be there as a fan that's caught up with the series and go, yes, new Ace Attorney, I can't wait. So number 9 is, I think this is the year we will see the Epic published titles from developers Gen Design and Playdead. And if you don't know what Gen Design is, this is the team that is led by the pretty elusive but extremely talented and distinct Fumito Ueda, who of course did Ico and Shadow of the Colossus and The Last Guardian, and now his team is working with Epic on their next game. His games are not for everybody. They have their own mechanical and stylistic quirks, but if there's one thing that I can say about Fumito Ueda's games is that they are extremely unique and extremely memorable. And I'm very happy that Epic is helping them with their vision so that they aren't going to be constrained by a bunch of other shit out there. Because I guarantee you, if they were to go to a company like Ubisoft or EA, it's like their design and gameplay tendencies will be meddled with so much to the point it won't even feel like an Ueda game anymore. And the same goes with Playdead. I'm glad that Epic is giving Playdead the room to just do what they gotta do. Just make another Limbo or Inside, another game like it, and I will be fine. And finally, number 10, I saved this one for last because it's so obvious coming from me, but this is going to be the year where we will get a new gameplay trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4, and it will reveal that Star Wars is in the game as a world. I really buy into the theory that what we saw in the last trailer, or the debut trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4, was an ATST. And it also didn't help that environment that they showed off looked a lot like the Moon of Endor. And like I said, I have been hesitant for years to have Star Wars in Kingdom Hearts. I've always said that it never really seemed to fit the aesthetic of the vibe that Kingdom Hearts goes for. But now that Kingdom Hearts is going for this more realistic design, since Sora is in the world of the living, so to speak, or our world, the as Master Ansem said, the fictional reality world, which, Jesus Christ, they're gonna do more properties that are live action because they can get away with it now that the art style is different for Sora. So, you know, as long as they stick with the original trilogy and they don't try to shove in any fucking prequel or sequel era shit, just stick with Luke, Han, Leia, Darth Vader. Just do that. If they do that and they just replay the ending of Return of the Jedi, that will be fine. I'll be okay with that. Team up with Luke to fight Darth Vader. Fine with me. Kill the Emperor with a Keyblade. Fine. Fuck it. Go for it. I don't care. So there you go. Those are 10 predictions, and we'll find out throughout the year, and once 2024 is done, we'll come back, I'll sit down again, and we will go over to see if I was right. So yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe. Let me know what you think about my predictions. Do you feel like I'm right? Do you think I'm off the mark? Way off the mark in certain ones? Let me know. I'm curious. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later.